Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to another Catch Up with Mayo. It's another Saturday. Today is the 25th of April, 2026, and it's 5 p.m. Eastern time, late afternoon. It's a miserable, dark, rainy afternoon. What happened to beautiful spring weather? Oh boy. Anyway, and already we got some people waiting in the wings. We got Gary. Hey, Gary, and James Farley. And we got Ramoga, and he's asking me, "Are you all talked out yet?" I am, because I just did a show. I was a guest on Beatley Tones, Beatles channel, and I was on there. It was a lot of fun. We had a panel, a bunch of us on there, and it was fun. But I was on there for quite some time, and I'm a little talked out. But it depends on if we have some topics to discuss. Hi, George. I saw George over there too, and Joseph Mantaneo, who was over there. And Pirate Gamer, what's going on? Pirate Gamer Boy 12. And hello, Conga Man. I was doing something else. I forgot I was waiting for the stream, and your voice jump scared me. Well, I hate my voice. So thank you, Rory. Really appreciate that. And thank you. I had a good time over there. Hello, Gloria. Thank you. Greetings in Ohio. Thank you for being here. And so, is everybody playing their Ringo album? Huh? I know not everybody has it, but there's a CD of it. Ringo, Long, Long Road, the new album by Ringo, which I've played now at least 8 times, 7, 8 times, something like that. And I like it. I do like it. Not as good as Look Up. Not close to Look Up in my personal view. All right. So here we go. And then we got DJ. Hello. Thank you. I'm glad you people come back. That's what I need. I need people to come back. What's the point if nobody's going to watch, right? Hi, Nigel. New Zealand. Sunday morning and cold in New Zealand. Hello there. Hello, Laura. Oh, hello, Laura. Oh, where is it? There it is. Sorry. Marathon live stream. Yes, indeed, it is. It's a marathon. Nothing wrong with your voice. Well, that's what everybody says, to other people. Most of us hate the sounds of our own voice, right? Let's face facts. Congratulations for consistently being on time. So many people today don't take punctuality seriously. I've always been very punctual. I hate tardiness. I hate lateness. Can't take it. It's very rude. It's rude when people are waiting for you and you want to make an entrance. However, once in a very blue moon, I could be late. If I'm late, which very rarely I am, but if I'm ever late, something had to happen. I listened to all 3 of Ringo's country albums today. All are great. All right, Joe. Glad to hear that. Let's see here. The picture on the stairs would be a better cover. I know what you mean. I would agree with that. Ringo albums are in jewel cases, but not Paul's, I've noticed. Absolutely. I much prefer the plastic jewel case, And Beatle Brad, I was on there with Beatle Brad. Brad was on with me, and it was a great time doing the live chat. You are great. Well, likewise. I mean, don't sell yourself short. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if I'm going to have people up. Maybe I will later. I just want to warm up a little bit. Where are we at? Okay. Did I say hello to Mike? I don't know if I did. Hello, Mike Waljasper. Loved Ringo's new video. What do you hate about CDs? Interesting. What do you hate about vinyl? Do I hate anything about CDs? I don't think I hate anything about CDs. Vinyl, I don't know how the storage of vinyl is. It takes up a lot of space. When records skip, which isn't all the time. Bukus of Blues is the least of them still, I'd assume. I don't know. I've never been a huge fan of Bukus of Blues, even though I do like some songs off it. And I don't know. It's too early for me to tell where I would place this. Definitely, definitely going to put "Look Up" #1. That's for sure. Hello, Douglas. Yeah, Ringo should have a talk with Paul about the CD cases. The purple shirt of yours added to the enjoyment of the Ringo album review. Thank you. Well, I did wear a purple shirt in one of the videos. I seem to recall that back in the day, you would do a 6-hour live stream, topics like the apes running out of bullets. Well, not everybody knows what that's about, Planet of the Apes, but some of you long-time fans will know what that is. What are your favorite extras on DVDs? Commentaries, making of, or deleted scenes? All of the above. Well, I like a commentary track. It depends. It depends how good they are. If a commentary track is really good by a director or an actor or somebody involved with the movie, that's my favorite feature. And deleted scenes, not all of them are really good. Most deleted scenes I've seen are well worth deleting, with a few exceptions. Were you a Prince? What's this? Sorry, not what? Were you a Prince fan? I didn't. No, I mean, Prince was okay. I mean, I didn't love Prince. I didn't dislike Prince. Just kind of there. I like some songs by Prince. What was the very first CD you bought? Mine was James Taylor, In the Pocket. My first CD was the 1986 Joan Jett and the Blackhearts album called Good Music. I remember buying that and loving it. CDs, if you take care of them, you never have to clean, really. Vinyl records are dust magnets no matter what you do. Well, that was an obvious one I should have thought about, actually. Okay, Vinyl Fever, hello. What's up? You do only do Beatles content now? Miss the old record store videos. No, I still do record store videos. The only problem is the record store has not been what it was. The owner, Bazooka Joe, we now call him, he got cancer and he doesn't really work there full time anymore. He's not in the store. He shows up from time to time behind in the back room, but he's not really in the videos anymore. Don, our favorite homeless man that loves to be in the videos, he's not allowed in the store anymore, and he's not doing as well as he was. So you'll be losing a lot of factors. But I still have some material. It's not as much stuff as it used to be. But my point being, if I start getting more material, whenever I get it, I make a record store video. Beatles is the main thing on my channel, but I call it now, Mean Mr. Mayo Beatles Plus, which means there's other stuff too. But not, I'm not collecting vinyl also. That's another thing. I mean, not really. I mean, I buy vinyl from time to time. I just bought Ringo's new album on vinyl. Occasionally, I buy a 45 picture sleeve, record or something like that. But, the vinyl has gone down a lot, so I don't have that either. But stick around. There'll be other things on. Just subscribe, and when non-Beatles stuff is coming up, you'll see it. If you open the jewel case on the reverse side of the booklet, there's a picture of Ringo on the stairs that I think would be a better cover. Let's do that. Let's do that, Jack. This one, right? I think that would be a pretty amazing cover. If that's the way standing, is that what you mean? I'd like it as a back cover. I like this picture. I think this is a cool photo of him. I just don't like the whole border thing. This whole, all this. I would rather this be the entire cover. I've noticed that download codes don't seem to be given with vinyl anymore. Gee, that's too bad, because a lot of times when I would show a vinyl album, I would take the card out. You had to pick my teeth with. All you old timers out there who've been around for a while, I couldn't give a rat's patootie about downloading and download cards and code numbers and all this bullshit. So I used to joke around. I used to say, "Oh, This is included with a download card. Hold on, let me pick my teeth with it. And I throw it away. It's a joke. It's a joke. Some of you people have been around a while might remember me doing that for a laugh. Oh, good afternoon, James. This morning, Facebook said Ringo passed away. Why do they put these fake notices all the time? Because they suck and the world's over. That's why. Hello, John. Good to see you again. Yeah, double duty, Beatly Tone Chat. Now my live. What a true warrior. Yeah, it's fun. It's I love it. It's fun. Joe, do you think the new Ringo song has sensible lyrics? Long, long road. It's okay. I don't think the lyrics on this album are so great. I've heard better lyrics, but what I like about this album, it's just that they're very pleasant songs. They're fun. I love the drumming on it. The Ringo's drumming. I love the guitar playing is good. The harmonies are good. The lyrics are secondary. If your favorite color is Prince, that should help. I did it backwards. Woo! If your favorite color is purple, was in Purple Rain, that should help you to like Prince. Yeah, I like some songs by Prince, but I was never a big fan, The Beatles CD sets was shot recently there. Why am I losing? I don't understand that exactly. To do all these streams and videos, do you have to get the most expensive super fast internet speeds with a provider? I don't think I'd have that. I think it's pretty basic. Oh man, times have changed. They sure have in so many ways, man. So many ways. Who do you think has a better voice now, Paul or Danny? Here's the thing. I think that Danny might have a smoother voice, more unaffected voice. Not because he hasn't been screaming songs for decades. But Paul's on key, whereas Danny is not on key. That's the difference. Oh yeah, definitely. I know a lot of people here were here for the vinyl. This channel, me and Mr. Mayo, started in 2012. In fact, next month's going to be my 14th anniversary, 14 years. Started out as a vinyl collecting channel. And of course, Beatles were always my favorite, so the Beatles came more to the fore. Beatles Plus is a great name because you are more than Beatles. Yeah, lately not so much. Lately it's been just a lot of Beatles, but yeah, I do some other Beatles things here too. I went to a so-called record show at a local mall today. What a disappointing mess. Mostly sports cards and kids face painting. What a letdown. Yeah, Gary. That shot should have been the cover. If you could decide Ringo's set list for him, what songs would you choose? Well, I could go on forever. The ones you basically know, It Don't Come Easy, Photograph, Back Off Boogaloo, the song called Snookeroo, the No-No song, the big ones you know from him. But then there were also a lot of songs from his solo years that I think people forget about. Snookeroo is one of them, I mean, for solo years, I meant to say his more obscure solo albums. I don't have a lot of time now to think about them all. If I start thinking, I'll be way behind in the chat. So I don't want to do that. I do collect the download cards for the McCartney archive sets. Well, in a case like that, I think I've saved those just to have the album complete as it came. Good afternoon, Robbie. Hello, how are you? I thought Long Long Road video was great, but the song lyrics were weak. I think the video is better than the song. I do. I think the video is better than the song. Glad you're better. You do sound good. Love the Lou chat. He was a cool guy. Lou is a cool guy and a very funny guy, but we don't get together that often, and it's up to him. If he wants to get together, he's got to let me know. You really enjoyed the Danny singing clips. I'm trying to do them less. I'm trying to play them less. You might be noticing. I mean, that was a clear invitation earlier when we talked about Paul's voice versus Danny's voice. It was an invitation for me to play, a clip, but I didn't want to go there. Okay, have you checked out the new Beatles official video station that premiered yesterday on the Beatles YouTube channel? I don't think I have. No. All right. Well, that's something else to think about. Hello, James. Good to see you here. I know it's been a while, I think, if I'm not mistaken, since you've been on regularly. Danny should release an album of old standards. You hear that, Danny? I know you're listening. I know Danny's listening out there. I know it. Congratulations on your 14 years. Yeah, the date will be May 23rd, I think it is, right? May 23rd, it will be my 14th year on here. 2026, Paul new album, Ringo new album, Rolling Stones new album, Pink Floyd new live album. So far, so good. Pretty amazing, isn't it? When you think about all this material, it's such a nice thing. There's so much going on, even Beatles wise. I mean, next Wednesday coming up on the 29th of April, I'm going to be seeing Power to the People, the John and Yoko concert movie. I listened to Look Up today, forgot how good String Theory is. It's funny because String Theory is one of my least favorites on the album, Look Up, but I do like it okay. Jerry Carter, what's up? We watched The Atomic Submarine, 1959, Friday night. Underwater flying saucer with a one-eyed monster. You know, I've never seen it. I actually have it. I own it on a DVD because I have another feature with it. I have it as a co-feature. I got it for the co-feature, but I've never watched that. New Ringo album, new Paul album on the way. Eric Clapton is in the studio. Good time to be a music fan. We have to enjoy them, James, while they're here, right? Because not to be morose, but they're getting older. Has Ringo ever done Snookeroo live? I can't recall. I don't think so. He's never done. Put it this way: I know for a fact he's never done Snookeroo live with the All Star Band since 1989 when he started doing the All Star Band. So the All Stars never did Snookeroo. I don't know about any other time. I don't think so. This was Ringo didn't tour before '89, so. What are your favorite Alistair Sims films besides A Christmas Carol? I don't know. I don't know of any other Alistair Sims films, actually. I didn't know. Hey, hi, Tony. Just got the Ringo Starr album in the mail and haven't listened to it yet. Well, I know you like Ringo, and I really would appreciate your opinion. I'd like to know what you think. Hello, Bernard from Paris. Thank you for saying hello to me. Thank you for checking in. I saw the Ringo video for Long, Long Road. It's fantastic. So much to look at. Very moving. Very well done. And, you know, Ringo's Barbara, really, stepdaughter, Francesca, Barbara Bach's daughter, Francesca, who's a director, was the director of the Ringo video. I did not watch the Lost Bass documentary. Now, I think somebody sent it to me, and if they did, I'm sorry, whoever, because I don't know where it is. Like, I forget who sent what. I might have it somewhere, but yes, hello to Danny, wherever you are, Gary says. Long, Long Road idea stolen from a Rolling Stones video. Are you talking about the movie Angry? I think the song Angry by the Rolling Stones had that kind of a setup with the driving and the billboard and all that stuff. I also think somebody told me that Neil Young had a video like that. So Ringo's video is not an original idea. Do I think that Roy Orbison is the best singer of all time? One of them, now you mention it, one of them, I like Roy, and I think he was a great singer. I have to really think who's the best singer of all time. Elvis is up there. Roy is up there. I have to think about it. Did Ringo write A Dose of Rock and Roll and Back Off Boogaloo? Ringo wrote Back Off Boogaloo. I don't know about Dose of Rock and Roll offhand. I'm thinking not. Somebody look that up for me. Thank you, Tony. Hit the like button, everybody. Hit the like button. Thumbs up. It helps the algorithm. It helps me if you hit the like button. What are your thoughts on the new Elvis song? I don't know what it is. What, did they put some concoction together and call it a new song? What is it? I didn't know about this. Yes, I've been busy and not as active in the chats, but always great to see you, Tone, Tom, and everyone else. Thank you. The Beatles community as it is, the Beatle buddies, we're all friends. Very nice. Yeah, I've heard this. The Michael Jackson movie's getting bad reviews, and I think Tom Hunyadi, who likes to see all new movies, said he thought it was good, okay, or good, but not great. And I wanted to see the Michael Jackson movie. My girlfriend and I, we still might see it, but I haven't heard any reviews. Now I'm hearing it's getting bad reviews. Okay, April 25th of 1976, today's date, the last time John and Paul saw each other. Uh, I got, is that the day? Is that the day that what was the day that the Saturday Night Live offer was on? How does the new version of Choose Love sit with you now? Well, I now appreciate it and I can enjoy it. In all fairness, what happened was, and like I say, I'll eat crow when I got to eat crow. I never loved the song Choose Love. For those who don't know, it's a song that Ringo did way back 2005 on his Choose Love album. And it's a little heavier, a little more rocking. I never really liked the song that much. I thought it was kind of like, I don't know, awkward as an awkward song, and it relies too much on Beatle related lyrics to Beatles songs. Never loved the song. Then when I first heard it with this new version on the new album, I didn't like it much either. And then I only listened to it once. I only listened to it once, and I didn't listen to it, a nice full volume on the actual CD where you could really get the whole impact of it. So I gave it a lousy review. I said, "This is a turkey. This song. I don't like it. I never liked it much, and this one's no better." Anyway, I retracted that. I took the video down. I'm not above doing it. I admit I made a mistake. I went out with my first opinion, and sometimes it's true what they say. Sometimes a song or an album takes multiple listens, and this is a whole nother topic we could talk about forever. But sometimes, if you hear a song, or I hear a song, if I hear a new song that I haven't heard before, and I love it right away, then there's no debate. You love it, you love it. Case solved. Case closed in one listen. But if it turns out that you don't like a song, it may take 2 listens, 3 listens. Now, I don't do that with everybody. I only do that with people I care about. In this case, we're talking about, say, Ringo, for example, or Paul. I'm a fan. Look around you, in case you couldn't tell. I mean, I am a fan of John, Paul, George, and Ringo. So I feel I'm interested in learning the songs. If I hear a new Paul song or a Ringo song that I like, same with when it was George back then, or whoever, John. I didn't love Double Fantasy when I first heard it either, way back in 1980. Took me a few listens and I really loved it. So that's what I'm trying to say. Yes, it sometimes takes multiple listens, and sometimes even with multiple listens, you don't come to like a song. It doesn't mean that multiple listens guarantees an enjoyment of the material. Doesn't necessarily guarantee that. But how much time I want to put into it depends on who it is and why am I listening to it. For example, I'll just have this album because it's at the top. Okay, I bought this CD, Sade, because I like the song Smooth Operator. It's the only song I'm interested in. If I play this Sade CD and I don't like any of the songs on it, I'll probably never play it again. I don't have any real reason. And life is short and you're getting older and there's only so many hours in a day. It's like I'll move on to something else. But if I play this and I don't love it right out of the gate, I've been listening to Ringo for 60 years. I want to learn it. I want to learn it, get to know it. If you were forced right now to choose one Beatles album to listen to for a month without getting bored, which album would you choose? Well, I'm guessing it would be the Beatles' White Album, simply because it's the biggest album, most songs on, I think 32 songs, maybe something like that. And it's a variety. There's all different kinds of places to go. That's an album I think that lends itself most to repeat listenings over and over and over without getting that bored. The movie Michael only covers his music career and whitewashes everything else. So don't tell me that. I mean, what about? Well, wait a minute. I know. Hold on. Stop. I didn't mean his. When I say whitewashes everything else, I'm not trying to say I want to hear all the dirt about his allegations and all that. But I mean his home life was rough, with his dad. I know he had a rough upbringing with his father. He was very, very domineering. I mean, that stuff I don't want to know whitewash away. But as far as all this, the controversies and the allegations, come on with that. I don't want to hear about that. As long as I'm alive, still alive, as long as I'm still alive, it's a good time for music. Yeah, I don't know if I got your message, Tony. I don't know if Andy sent it to me or not. I mean, somebody sent it to me. Okay, well, here's the thing. I don't really know Cat Stevens. My girlfriend likes Cat Stevens, and we were taking a trip to Maine, and she played a Cat Stevens album, and it wasn't bad. It's the one that has, oh, geez, Wild World, oh baby, baby, it's a wild, wild world. I love that song. I mean, that's the only Cat Stevens song that I know I love. There may be others that I can't think of right now, but I know I love that song. What's the lowest battery life you let your phone get to before recharging? And do you think letting it go to 1% makes it stronger? I let 1% sometimes it goes to 1% and before I charge it. I try to charge it when it's like, 10%, 8%, There you go. Dose of Rock and Roll was not written by Ringo. Thank you. I didn't think so. The Frankenstein, the new Elvis Presley song, using parts of other songs. Yeah, I know. With Elvis, they just keep looking for stuff for Elvis. They won't let it rest. I mean, I shouldn't say that because you could say the same thing with Beatles and solo, but I mean, with Elvis, though, it seems, come on, man, really, it's like 50 years, and since he passed, and they're still trying to make. They put albums out, the B-sides, the number one hits, the number two hits, the other sides. Let's put like a classical arrangement to it, make a classical song out of Elvis. Let's make it into, disco Elvis. I mean, I don't know, man. The complete rooftop concert is not available in a legal sense, I don't believe. You have to find somebody that has them. I think Ringo should do "I Call Your Name" song just like he did in 1990 on the Lennon tribute concert. It would be great with the All-Star Band. Yeah, that was a nice version. I remember that version that he did. He sent in a video for John to "When I Call Your Name." It was pretty good. I love documentaries about music, but don't like dramas about musicians much. Yeah. I always find it mad that when you see musicians composing, usually guitarists, they nearly always can play piano too. Even Ringo tinkers on a piano. He does. Plays the piano if it's in C. Whereas Paul and John are piano experts. Well, Paul more than John. I don't think John was that great on the piano. Ever done fancy dress? Oh, sure. But not if I can help it. I don't love it. I mean, the last time I did it, I mean, geez. I went to a couple of weddings, my niece's wedding and one of my nephews got married, two weddings. What are your thoughts on How to Make a Monster? Gary Conway returns from Teenage Frankenstein. Michael Landon passed on his reprisal from Teenage Werewolf. Okay, my thoughts on How to Make a Monster. It's a 1958 monster movie. I love it. I love it. Some people would call it a guilty pleasure. It's not for everybody. The reason I love it is because that's the kind of movie that I grew up on. And I remember, being like 10, 11 years old when it was on TV, I think 10. And the next day in school, we were all talking about it. And it's a sequel to Teenage Frankenstein and to Teenage Werewolf. It has both of them in there, but it's not. I'm not going to go on and say that you would love it, Ramoga. Anybody listening to the sound of my voice here that wants to try it would love it. It's on Svengoolie tonight. It's a B film. It's complete. It's fun. I think it's a fun movie. If you like 50s monster movie stuff. Okay, the new Elvis song is called "Wearing That Nightlife Look." Okay. Do you now own 3 copies of Long, Long Road, 2 on vinyl, 1 on CD? That is correct. The CD is the one that I'll play 99.9% of the time, which I am playing now. I have 1 vinyl, which I opened up. And I have another vinyl that I'm going to keep sealed proudly with the hype and preserve it because it's a beautiful looking package. Absolutely. And I'm thinking about getting the purple vinyl. As I told you, it may not seem like it. People listening to me now, I thought he was cutting down. He's so full of crap. I am, and I have. But, I just don't buy everything. I'm not getting the cassette. I used to buy cassettes. I'm not getting any other colored vinyl, just maybe the purple. That's it, because I like purple. Uh, that kind of thing. Streisand did a Love Me Tender duet with Elvis on her album. I thought it was good. Did you hear it? Your thoughts? I don't recall it. I don't recall it, Gary. Any particular song that makes you feel nostalgic? Thousands of songs. I don't know where to begin. Where do you begin? Turn the Beat Around. Don't Go Breaking My Heart. 1976. Lots of solo Beatles songs. The song Popcorn. Lots of songs. I could go on forever with 70 songs. Have you seen the Italian Jaws, which steals scenes from each of the 4 movies called Cruel Jaws or Jaws 5? Never have. That Sade album is very relaxing. Just chill. Okay. Because, I went through this with Danny the other day. We did a lot. It's like, look, man, I believe you. It's just, maybe I will chill with it one day. Maybe I will. But if I don't chill with the Sade album, I can live with myself. You know what I mean? It's what you like and what you're interested in. The White Album has 32 songs if you count Not Guilty and Mary Jane. Oh, okay, my mistake. Do you like Monty Python? Have you seen the Terry Jones statue? No, I haven't seen the statue. Still got a little bit of a cough left, not much. Monty Python, I haven't seen enough of it. Anytime I've seen clips of it, it's good. I'm not against it. I don't dislike it. I just don't know it very well. Father and Son is the most popular Cat Stevens song, and Tea for the Tillerman. That was probably the album that we listened to. There you go. Okay. Yep, George was involved, and he liked Monty Python also. Yep. Are you surprised that Here Comes the Sun is the most streamed Beatles song? Yes and no. I'm not surprised in the sense that it's a beautiful, lovely song, make people feel good on a sunny day. A song like Here Comes the Sun would appeal to most people. It's a very appealing song for all ages and types. As the fact that it's a George Harrison song instead of a Lennon or McCartney or both song is kind of weird. I know it drives Andy Nichols crazy because Andy has said that, publicly. Penny Lane, what's going on? Yes, I did see this. Yes, I saw the new interview of Ringo sitting with Phil and Dave and T-Bone Burnett. Just started watching it. So far, it's great. Yeah, it is. It is. I was getting worried because at first, I think it's Dave. He was talking too much about the Beatles, and then eventually it got better. He seemed to know his stuff after a while. What is your favorite movie from 1962? It's funny. I can't always think of. I know a lot of years. When I think of 1962, the first thing I think of is Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. Then I think of Dr. No. Dr. No. Was King Kong versus Godzilla in 62 or 63? You're asking me that because that's the year of my birth. Which, yeah. I actually won a fancy dress contest simply for wearing a suit. My trick was I was dressed as a man at a party. True story. I believe you. I remember when that movie Wolfman from 1979 was on VHS tape, but I never saw it. Never saw it. I'm looking at the comments. Thoughts on gatefold covers, but it's not a double album. It doesn't matter to me. I like, gatefold covers are cool, whether it's a single album or a double album. It doesn't matter to me. I wonder if anyone has pulled a random autograph picture from the Ringo album. Yeah, uh, one source was offering you could send in for Ringo the new album, and it would be, I think it's a lithograph or photo, whatever it is, randomly signed. So we're still waiting to see if anybody has gotten one. We don't know how many Ringo signed. He could have signed three. He could have signed 103. I don't know. People are still waiting, and we're still waiting to see if anybody got lucky, got one. I can't tell what was the very first Beatles song that I ever heard. I don't remember it that way. I know when I was three, my mother says, I told you this all, I say this many times, you have books, you keep books with your parents sometimes, baby pictures in a book, and they have places for you to write. What were your baby's first words? When did you do this or that? And one of the questions is, what kind of music did you like? And you loved the Beatles at age 3. What favorite songs? And she wrote "Help," "She Loves You," "Yeah, Yeah, Yeah," or any Beatles song. That's just a lot. Or any Beatles. Like I was nuts about the Beatles. Didn't matter what it was. But so she has "Help" and "She Loves You," "Yeah, Yeah, Yeah," written in the book. So one of those two, I think. I don't know. Okay. I do like Benny Hill. I haven't seen him in decades. But when it used to be on TV, I would turn Benny Hill on. It'd be funny. I like Flowers in the Dirt. Tell me how wrong I am. Well, nobody's wrong for having an opinion, really, right? It's just not one of my favorite albums. I think it's half an album, half a good album, half a lot of dirge. Flowers in the Dirge. It's not one of my personal favorites, but a lot of people love that album. You know, Here Comes the Sun, a very uplifting song, though. Its meaning is more than its title. Exactly. What's the best solo in a Beatles song? Like "Old Brown Shoe"? Oh man, I got to think of it, man. I can't even think of it. You think I would know by now? Jeez, after all these decades, you think I can come up with one that stands out for me as the best. Mm, Something has a great solo in it that comes to mind. Uh, I like the solo in "Get Back," which John plays. I'm sure there are many other ones. I heard a chap dissecting the John song "Sun King" from Abbey Road. Never thought much about it, but the guitarist illustrated how gorgeous the chords are. Yes, but did you know that was swiped from a Fleetwood Mac song called "Albatross"? hmm John Lennon strikes again from a. Check out the Fleetwood Mac song "Albatross." I've never watched Faulty Towers. I'm so, I know a lot of times I get these questions and I'm like, no, 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 no. The Jackson estate has removed a lot of content from the Michael Jackson biopic. Really? I do find it cheap when it's a double album, not a gatefold, personally. I Want to Hold Your Hand was my first when I was 4 in 1985. Well, you remember that, huh? Hey, I just hit 2,000 subscribers. Nice feeling, isn't it? Congratulations. I think John would have been proud of how well Ringo's doing right now. It always concerned him that Ringo would struggle after the Beatles. Exactly. And I'm so happy for Ringo with that because in recent years, he's gotten so much acclaim for his Look Up album. This album's getting good notices. He was invited to play at Nashville. I was really hoping that he would have some attention, some hits, if you want to use the word hits, in his later years. And sure enough, that has happened for him. And I'm very happy for him that he's, I could hear it in interviews when I see recent interviews. He talks pretty much about that. Like he's glad that people liked his last album and that, he seems like he's hit a stride now. Fantastic at this stage of his life that he can actually be recognized. It's great. Oh, yeah, exactly. See, I didn't where is it? Like, hold on, I got to fix this. Damn. Um, here it is. I forgot about Hey Bulldog. That's a great one. What song from Rubber Soul would be a good fit on Revolver? Off the top of my head, the first one that comes in my mind is Norwegian Wood, only because it's got the sitar on it. I don't know. Maybe there's another one that's better. Oh yeah, Something, Taxman, I Want You, and of course, While My Guitar Gently Weeps from Clapton. Favorite Beatles solos. I saw Beatles 64, and it mentioned how the Beatles' timing with avoiding the draft was a big factor. What are your thoughts? The Beatles avoiding the draft? I'm a little mixed up on that. I don't know. I'll say the Beatles' timing was really perfect when they came to America. But I always say timing was a part of it because today we're still talking about the Beatles, and it ain't 1964 anymore. So obviously, it's the music was the number one thing. Have you considered one of those Fire Sticks? My friend has one. She sees TV content from all over the world. You could see Faulty Towers. Well, if I wanted to see Faulty Towers, badly enough, I'd make sure I saw it. I don't care really, if I'm being honest and blunt. And I have enough. I have enough stuff to watch on my own. Without having to add a Fire Stick. Where does Mikey Arugula find and track down all the stuff he buys? On the internet, I'm pretty sure. Will you be getting the vinyl reissue of Flowers in the Dirt? I haven't been buying a lot of those vinyl reissues anymore. It's part of what I'm cutting down on. I stopped getting the half-speed masters of the McCartney albums. I got rid of the ones I did have, and I don't buy anymore. And I sold a lot of the colored vinyl that I got from Paul. I'm just not buying everything anymore. That's what it comes down. Some things, yes. Just because you see me buy some things, doesn't mean I'm buying everything. When was the last time you were looking forward to something so much you couldn't sleep the night before? That's a really good question. Why can't I think of the answer? I feel like it was pretty recent too, but I just can't remember, Damn. It was recent. John plays the I Want You solo. My dad told me who Ringo was because I love Thomas the Tank Engine. A lot of kids came to Ringo and the Beatles from that. He played me I Want to Hold Your Hand. That's when I fell in love. Fantastic that it worked. Isn't that amazing? One song and at the right age. It's pretty amazing. How would a young person like Long, Long Road if they didn't have the nostalgia factor? Maybe they wouldn't. Maybe they wouldn't. I mean, there's some songs you could like even if you don't have a connection like that. As a little boy, I found Ringo's voice boring. When he narrated Thomas, I prefer his singing voice. Interesting. Yeah, well, not me. I'm definitely not going to have any. Well, not grass, but I will. I'll have the grass on the ground. Yeah, I like to Let It Be. Did I mention that? Because I did like I don't know if I mentioned that. I like the Let It Be album solo. I was thinking of that too. Don't remember if I said it. If you could see Paul live in any venue of your choice, where would you choose? Well, there's a little place on Long Island used to be called the Westbury Music Fair. I think it's called Norfolk now or something. But anyway, it's very, very small. I saw Ringo there many times. It's pretty damn good there. I still find that nostalgia is what it used to be. I'm cool with it still. Good evening, Walkman. What's going on? There wasn't there one when some guy goes in for an argument. He says he came in for he pays to go to an argument or something. He said, I came here for an argument, and the person says, no, you didn't. Yes, I did. Something like that, if I remember correct. Here's a groove dweller. You know his picture. He's in my videos. He was at the record store today for a few hours. Well, I almost went there, but had you told me that you were there, maybe I would have went. No, but I don't know. I can't always go. I can't always go. But I was thinking about it today for a while. Almost went. I saw Paul live at 89, and it was insanely good. Yeah, that's the first time I got to see Paul, Madison Square Garden, December of 89. Wanted to comment on your choice of shirt and jacket when you bought the Ringo the other day. Yeah. Did you like Rock Lobster back in the day or too weird? It was good. I liked it. Uh Multi-day music festival. Nope. The Argument Clinic. Yeah, there it is. There you go. Yeah, he texted me. I think something arrived at the store for me, a gift. I think. Does Don like any Beatles or any music? Yeah, he likes music. He likes Frank Sinatra, Don. I think he likes Mick Jagger. He likes the Stones better than the Beatles, I think, from when I talked to him. The Argument Clinic is amazing. Yeah. This is a good question. What do you think is the most told Beatles story by a Beatles? Scrambled eggs are up there. Yeah, the one when Paul talks about how he wrote yesterday. Another one that's getting really bad lately is Ringo talking about how he came to join the Beatles. That's becoming anybody else who's watching interviews with the Beatles, ex-Beatles, this is becoming the most overtold story of all. Ringo talking about, well, Brian asked me to join the Beatles, and I said, when? He said, today. And I said, I can't join you today because I got a gig with the Rory Storm and the Hurricanes. So I'll join you Saturday. He asked me on a Wednesday, which I thought it's the same freaking story. God, it's so tough. That one is the story where Ringo talks about he wasn't feeling like he was loved in the Beatles and they didn't like him. So he left the Beatles for a while and he knocked on John's door and he said, I feel you three are really close and I'm not fitting in. And John said, I thought it was you three. So I went over to Paul and knocked on Paul's door. And I said, I feel you guys are really close and I'm just not playing very well and everything. And then Paul goes, I thought it was you three. And this story a million times. I gave the new Ringo a spin. It was enjoyable. And it's awesome he and Paul are still putting out new material. Tell me about it, isn't it? Isn't it really? Paul keeps repeating the same Beatles stories over and over again. Yeah, about how he wrote. Yeah, it's the same story. We're not going to go to America until we get a #1 record there. How well do you know Rory Storm's music? Not at all. There's Mikey Arugula. There's a star in himself. What's up, Mikey? Mikey's there. Paul talking about Hendrix and doing Sergeant Pepper is annoying. Yeah, the concert, he does that all the time, right? Do you have any copies of the old Mersey Beat newspaper? I don't know if I own any of those. I don't think so. And even if I did, those are the kind of things that now, personally, as a collector, that's perfect timing if Mikey's still here. I'm looking to get rid of. I don't need it anymore. I've got closets full of stuff like that, and that's where they stay in the closet. You know, it's the age I'm at now with stuff. I just don't get it. I've had stuff for like 50 years, and it just stays in there and stays in there. And like I've said before, all these things I'm looking at here, this banner up here, John and Yoko, these posters, these movie posters back here, and I got a Frankenstein box here. I got things on the top. These are things I'm enjoying because I'm looking at them and posters and things. But stuff that you got to like take down and file out, read, and it's too much. It's too much. There's a comedy skit. They terrorists kidnap George Martin. George keeps telling those Beatles stories. Anything you don't like, your tie. Oh, yeah. Okay, very nice. Anything that you don't like, yeah, for a start, I don't like your tie. Anthology was fantastic in 95. Many of the stories were fresh and new. Now they're stale and old. Absolutely. Okay, ACDs. I'm not going to even read this. I'll let you people read it. It's not funny. I'm going to save my voice for Beatles stuff. But you can read it. Funny stuff. All right, I finally caught up. Let me take a sip here. All right. All right. So I ran the end of the line here right now. Recently, they sold some John Lennon guitars for a ridiculous amount. Rickenbacker, I think. Do you hang your posters with tacks? Some of them, yes. I don't care. It depends how rare they are. If they're super rare, I won't do it. Or Scotch tape. Usually Scotch tape on the back. I usually roll the tape. Like that one's up there with Scotch tape. I think these all are. The Ringo one here, Blast from Your Past. I don't like. I generally don't love putting tacks through rare posters. I know collectors are going to go nuts. I mean, I don't like doing that either. If it's a used poster that already has holes, some thumbtack holes in them, I may put them right through the original holes. Yep. The Mets losing streak was brutal. I don't even know about that. The Mets are jokes. They're jokes. I bought the two George Harrison zoetropes from Record Store Day. I thought you could see the effects. We just played the record. No, I didn't know you had to watch them on your phone. A pain in the ass. Absolutely. I, I didn't buy them. Barbara Bach saw the Beatles at Chase Stadium and later married one. Incredible irony. Absolutely. It's funny. Anthony and I were talking about maybe getting together tomorrow. Funny enough, Sunday. I'm supposed to talk to him later tonight about possibly getting together tomorrow. Who cares? Who cares? I know you disagree, but I think Extra Texture is fantastic, and that's good for you. That's fine. I think it's a poor album overall. I do like some songs. uh, it's funny. I know what Groove Dwell is talking about. I like the story about Ringo discussing the cover of the Two Virgins album with John. Yeah, I know that story too. Yep, great story. I know you love purple. You're going to maybe get the purple Ringo. I forgot what you said. Yeah, I think I'm going to get it. It's not the end of the world if I don't. At least the Zoetropes make nice picture discs. I just can't figure how to use those Zoetrope apps. Yeah, me either. I mean, I bought a couple before I got sucked into buying a couple. You know, all the stores you go to with Anthony, are most of them still open on Sundays too? We don't know. I don't know. He says he got a new store that he wants to try out, a new nostalgia store that we haven't been to yet. That may be what we do tomorrow if we get together. I think Ringo's final tour should be Ringo's songs only, no all stars. Yeah, from your lips to Ringo's ears, but I don't know if he's going to do that. Have you played the Meditation Love from John? I have not. I've played some of the Mind Games meditation mixes. The thing is, once you see the zoetrope effect as it spins, it's still not that good. Yeah, I mean, what else can I say? It's not my thing. I like the way that people assign numbers to the stories Macca keeps telling. He told story number 47. Yeah, I didn't know they had numbers. Okay. The clothes vibe in the 60s, like that Ringo shirt, was so cool. Today is the great big void. Okay, flea market soon. Do you ever hit up rummage sales? Did you ever buy anything when you were on your mail routes? Did I ever buy anything on the mail route? I don't know if I ever bought anything on the mail route, actually. I mean, a couple of times there were sales going on sidewalk sales, but I don't remember buying anything while I was working. Flea markets, I think probably started already, but I'll probably go to a few this summer. And I don't go to as many as I used to, that's for sure. Extra Texture and Somewhere in England are albums I will never really like. George's worst two for me, though each one has a couple of good tracks on them. Yeah, I like 3 tracks off Extra Texture, and I like more tracks off somewhere in England. Would love Paul to do a tour with no Beatles songs. What a set list that would be. Yeah, I know, but that's only for the hardcore fans. And, Paul has never seen it that way. He's never seen it that way. I remember you going to a garage sale, that older video, all those jazz big band vinyl finds. Yeah, that's an old video. Yeah, I know the one you mean, too. Yep. Has Paul ever done Once Upon a Long Ago live? I think he's done it on television shows at the time, but that's not what you mean. I think you mean in concert. He's done it at TV performances in the '80s, but not live. I won't buy any zoetropes. I bought an entire collection of Beatles 45 picture discs, and they sounded awful. Got rid of them immediately. Uh, when you were a mailman, how often did stuff go missing? Obviously, I don't mean because of you. I don't remember them at all. That's one of those things that people think it happened all the time, maybe, but I honestly can't remember. I can't honestly can't remember it. It was not a big occurrence, even though sometimes the news might make it seem like that. Paul already gave directions of what to do when he dies on the song "The End of the End." Do you think people will follow those directions? I often think about that. Believe it or not, when I hear the song, I think about it. What he would like the day that he dies, what he'd like, and I do think that some fans are going to follow it. Not all fans. The majority of fans will not have even heard the damn song. Because believe me, most fans are they think they're big fans, but they just like the Beatles and that's it. And they won't have nothing to do with the solo albums. Maybe one or two singles solo, maybe All Things Must Pass and Ram, and maybe one or two others, Imagine, and they're done. So a lot of them don't even know the album Memory Almost Full, and the song, The End of the End. It was a very touching, heartfelt song about Paul's mortality. What's the Ringo shirt you're wearing? Yeah, it's a Ringo Star Tour shirt, 2022. Let's see where we at here. I got to go back up again with this. This is really tough. Actually, out of curiosity, do you still have those records, or have they all gone bye-bye? Which one were we talking? I forget what I was talking with what about. Oh man, I'm gonna go up here again. Oh, I know what you're saying. I have some of those records that I bought, the jazz and big band. They have some of them, but they're all gonna go bye-bye. I'm not gonna play them. They will come out with a record next that when you play it, a hologram of the Beatles will pop up and perform it. Double Fantasy or McCartney 2? Well, Double Fantasy is better than McCartney 2, if you're asking me that. Yeah. Which one is more like dear to my memory and stuff? McCartney 2, because I graduated high school when McCartney 2 came out. Double Fantasy reminds me of John's Murder, unfortunately. But as an album, Double Fantasy is superior to me. I would love Paul to play Rock Show again. I don't know. Maybe he could. How many Beatles and solo shirts do you have? Quite a few, but I don't know the exact count. I don't know the count, but I have a lot. I'd give you a number if I knew. Must be funny to be an Amazon driver and a Beatles fan, knowing in the back of your van are the new release box sets. You can't think like that. Yeah, I've met people who say that they're Beatle fans, but they only know the hits. And I know people that say that they're Beatle fans and they don't care much for Ringo solo. And that's really fighting words. Obviously, I know I'm being tongue in cheek in a way. Obviously, you can be a fan of the Beatles and love the Beatles and know everything about the history, and even enjoy some of the solo albums by John, Paul, and George, and not necessarily really care about Ringo's solo career too much. But some of the things, when fans put Ringo down, any Beatle fan that puts Ringo down in any way, I don't think is much of a fan. That's my opinion. However, That doesn't mean let me rephrase that because you got to watch it. I'm not saying you can't point out some flaws. I always point out flaws with the four Beatles, and of course you can criticize them. You can criticize them and criticize Ringo in certain things. But some people just don't rate him. Oh, he's only Ringo. Who cares? It's only Ringo. Not important. No, sorry, wrong. Okay, what's for dinner tonight? Chili. We got some chili tonight. Double Fantasy is 100 times better than McCartney, too. These aren't the same year, but Walls and Bridges or Venus and Mars. Oh, they're pretty equal. They're pretty equal. I might give the edge to Venus and Mars on that one by a hair. I once did a video like this trying to explain to people, and I still think I made a pretty fair case that when you take the albums by John, the albums that Paul solo that were released pretty much like the same year or comparable, they're very even. They're very even. Half of John's are better, half of Paul's are better. Sometimes they're tied, they're just as good. And the singles as well. When you put the singles next to each other, sometimes John wins, sometimes Paul wins, sometimes they're even. I did that once, and I really believe that. Of course, everybody has a different opinion, so it's all subjective. But I found that they're more even than you think. I'm talking about the years, obviously, that John and Paul both made music. I'm not going to go by the years that John was in retirement for Paul, 76 to 79. Okay, sometime, Joe, you and Andy Nichols need to do an imaginary McCartney solo set list. What songs, no Beatles, would you have him sing? That would be interesting. It's hard to believe that in some form, on some discussion show, we haven't done that already, but there's always more time to do it. Yeah, Ringo's album, Vertical Man, doesn't get the attention it deserves. I love that album. That's a good Ringo album. 1998, Vertical Man. It's never been on vinyl, only CD. I wish they'd put it out on vinyl one of these days for Record Store Day or Friday Music or whoever. Just heard my first Yoko song. Are you mainly a fan because of her involvement with John, or do you like her also as a singer? When it comes to Yoko, the whole thing is I respect Yoko because John loved her and she meant so much to John and made him happy, which she did. And he wanted her and it completed him. She completed him and I think made him a better man. Some people don't believe that. Fine. When it comes to her music, of course, I wouldn't even be interested in this case if she hadn't been with John. But because she'd been with John and because I play some of her music, I discovered that I like some of it. I like a good deal of Yoko's music, and I think I like some of the songs that she sings. Some of them I don't like because she screams through the whole thing. I don't like wailing and just screaming so much, but I appreciate her as an artist. She was a musician before she even met John. She was trained on piano. I don't know if you know that. No, people don't know these things. They don't want to know it. They don't want to believe it. And she was good. She was a good songwriter. Not great. I take that back. She was a good songwriter. And she made very poetic lyrics. And she could, it doesn't mean that just because, people might not care for somebody that they couldn't write decent songs. She wrote decent songs. And that's pretty much what I feel about her, yes, indeed. Ringo insulted Liverpool once, and it was a bushes. They were like hedges of the Beatles, and somebody clipped Ringo's head off the hedge. On the day McCartney came out in 70, I read the titles and became of the McCartney album. McCartney, you got me nervous there for a minute. Not that there's anything wrong with that. On the day the McCartney album came out in 70, I read the titles, and because of the culture at the time, I thought junk was about drugs. Then I listened to the song. It was about junk. Beautiful song. Terrible title. What's the motivation of Ringo to release all these albums? Honestly, I have the answer to that, I'm sure. The answer is because Ringo has been sober since 1988. That's a long time now. Almost 40 years, right? 98, 08. and he has to keep young, keep healthy, keep busy, and he loves it. He enjoys it. That's the purpose, to keep himself going, to not sit around and just wither and die, to keep in motion, to keep on, and that's very important. Same reason Paul likes to tour and everything. And I think it's wonderful. I mean, yeah, sometimes Ringo puts too much out. Sometimes, uh, especially in years past, uh, the albums were similar, almost too similar. But that's why he does it. I've read that London Town and Back to the Eggs archives will never be released as a pair because they have no relationship like other pairs. I'd be happy to get those damn things out on the archive set, whether they're separate or together at this point. John Lennon Rock and Roll or Paul's Run Devil Run. Well, I let's put it this way. I prefer John Lennon the Rock and Roll album because it's John. But I think technically Paul's Run Devil Run album is probably better. You know what I mean? Technically Paul's is superior, probably, but personally I prefer to listen to the John Rock and Roll album. To say as I always say with Yoko, I don't like almost any of her music, but I will always say that Approximately Infinite Universe is a fantastic album. There you go. That's the one that people always bring up. Uh, yeah, I don't get into Yoko bashing. You know why? I mean, we could talk about it, but I don't get into too much because there's plenty of places online you can bash, and this is a no Yoko bashing zone. And I've said that from years and years before, anything happened with, having a contact with Sean or anything. Anyway, Yoko hassled John at Weybridge when John was still married to Cynthia. She knew exactly what she was doing. Let it go already, okay? Let it go, okay? All right, whatever. The main thing is they fell in love. That's it. And yes, I believe it was mutual. Just let it go already. It's so freaking old, man. This thing. Okay. Yes, I do have the Ono box set. That's a good overdue. Yes, of her stuff. Where is Zach Starkey now since leaving the Who? Actually, there was an interview with him that was just not too long ago on Ghostie's radio show, and I can't remember what he's doing now. Uh, did meeting Yoko change your liking of her? It just confirmed what I always thought, that she was nicer than people thought. Didn't change anything. I always thought Yoko, I always kind of liked her. You got to understand too, I don't love Yoko or anything like that. I'm not a big Yoko fanatic. I accept Yoko. I accept her. Accept is the best word. I accept her because John needed her, and that he would have been dead without her. He said she saved me from a kind of death. Exactly. Okay. So because a lot of Beatle fans out there don't want Beatle John shaking his head and going woo forever, that's on you. You know what I mean? I'm saying not saying you, DJ. I'm talking about other people. Anybody out there who feels that way about it, you know, that's on you, not on him, not on her. You know. Good evening. I recently got a CD DVD of the Beatles' '66 concert at Budokan in Japan. I don't know if it was AI enhanced, but it sounds surprisingly good. Well, I don't know if they've enhanced it any, but it always sounded good. The copies of that always sounded good, mostly because it was professionally recorded, and it was even on a Laserdisc. For a lot of times, the audio and that's been around comes from a Laserdisc, I think it is. That's very good. I heard Zach Starkey's on first since he left the Who. Okay, how much longer we're going to have, I don't know. See how it goes. How much was filmed of the 1866 Philippines concert? Don't know. Anybody know? Always loved Linda McCartney's voice, like on Wings Wildlife. Yes, I always liked Linda's voice. I always liked the harmonies. I thought she added immeasurably to the sound and success of Wings. I really do. No, apparently not. No, apparently not. Well, it's not. There's not always guests here. No, and a lot of times the people. See, the thing is, some people when they're hearing the comments, they prefer not to be. They're not to be guests on here because that they can keep asking their questions and I can keep answering them like that. When you have guests up on a screen, you tend to talk amongst each other, and then the people get kind of forgotten, overlooked, or delayed in the comment section. So some of them like guests, and some of them don't. Zach was playing drums with a Beatle cover band at the Cavern and has done concerts with just him and a drum kit playing to basic backing. Excuse me, him and a drum kit playing to backing tracks. Yeah, I can remember some things that made me laugh till I cried. Yeah, I don't want to get it. I know what they are, but it's a long story. One of them. Uh, I was at the Beatle Fest in 1984, and there was a sound alike band up there, and I was with my friend Mike, God rest his soul, who's dead now. And there was this really bad Beatles sound alike band, the Battle of the Beatle Bands, and they just sounded so bad. And the drummer was playing, and like a stick, he lost either one stick. I might have lost a stick or something. He's trying to play with one stick, and everybody was laughing. I was laughing. My tears were coming down my eyes. So, are we going to get a Rubber Soul box set and help? No word on that yet. I got to think that eventually the answer would be yes and yes. I would think we got to get both, but there's been nothing about that. Nothing. I wish Paul would give the complete Beatles to Peter Jackson and release it. I saw it back when it came out and thought it was brilliant. Everybody seems to love the complete Beatles. My feeling is that it's almost totally, 99% useless now because it was great in 1982. When it came out in 1982, it was pretty important and pretty revealing, interesting. But then we hit in 1995, we had the Beatles anthology, and I think that was a much, much stronger documentary. By now, at this point, the complete Beatles pales big to the anthology, but it does have interviews in there with some people that were not interviewed. Tony Sheridan, for one, you know, they weren't interviewed on the anthology, stuff. Okay, ranking time. It won't be long, 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 long. At a long and winding road. Oh, that's interesting. All right. I love all three of those songs, so I'll put "It Won't Be Long" at number one. Just the order you have it. This is personal favorites. Those are the way I like it. I like "It Won't Be Long" the best. Long, long, long second, and "Long and Winding Road" third. Just the way you have them here. Good evening, Tim. I recently got. We talked about this. I'm sorry. But we did. Did we talk about this already? Okay. Complete Beatles was the first time I heard a lot of the story. Well, it was very good for its time, definitely. Peter Jackson has 3 upcoming Middle Earth movies. His Beatle time might be eaten up for the next couple of years. If you didn't have to wear eyeglasses anymore, perfect eyesight, but you had to have no front teeth, would you take it? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. First of all, I like wearing glasses. I never thought I'd say this, but I'm fine wearing glasses. I still think glasses they kind of like they can cover imperfections if you have anything. I'm not saying I have any major imperfections, but lines, or if you have anything circles, they cover them. I wouldn't want to be without teeth for no money. Are you kidding? Uh, no, it doesn't have to be second. I don't think people understand the idea of favorites. You know what I mean? If you're telling me what, I no, I just don't. People don't get it. It's not about which ones are technically better songs than the others, which ones are better compositions. It's about which one do you like better. Otherwise, we don't have the same opinion. If there's only one way to do it, if it won't be long is supposed to be first, and Long and Winding Road supposed to be second. I don't know which order you have them in, and there's only one correct order, and everybody here, 3,000 people have the same correct order. What's the point? Yeah. I don't do noodles with chili, but yeah, sour cream cheese are good. Uh, I once saw a Beatles tribute show called Twist and Shout. I'll never forget it. Musician portraying John got a standing ovation. I certainly have. Damn right I have. Let's see. Long, long, long is my favorite of those three. Oh no, you're not allowed. You got to. It's a certain order it's supposed to be in. I don't care how I look in glasses. I'm just glad I can look. I think mine suit me though, as do yours. Well, I'm used to them. I'm fine with them, honestly. Every man has a woman who loves him on the Double Fantasy stripped down album. Sounds like the meditation mixes. Yeah, it does. Sounds like something you could just chant along with or do a mantra to. I got Domino's today because of the half off deal they have going right now. Very Anthony like of me. Absolutely. That's exactly how Anthony thinks. Uh, I don't actually like long, long, long much at all, so I'm out. Long, long, long. Underrated George song. I agree. Savoy Truffle is pretty darn good also. I love Savoy Truffle. I love that song. Love it. All right. So where are we at, folks? Kind of caught up for the moment. Let's see how long we're going to stay on here. It's been 77 minutes. Uh, have you started to like the haircut? Not yet. It's a little too short. I like when it gets a little longer than it is, you know, for me personally. I prefer a little more hair. Long, long, long and Blue Jay Way have to be the spookiest tunes ever. Yeah, true. Who do you think is going to be the last Beatle touring? Well, that would just be a guess. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to say Paul. Paul's Paul's got it in his blood more. I think maybe. Did the Beatles play on anyone else's albums uncredited? Well, I'm trying to think. I don't know. Help me. That should be. I don't know this answer, man. It's weird, but you don't always think of them right away when you need the knowledge. I know that John and Paul are on this Rolling Stones song "We Love You." I don't really know. Is that what you're talking about? Beatles cover group on YouTube called the Beatles Argentina, a fantastic cover band, a great sounding group. Never heard of them. I don't believe. Yeah, Harrison played on "Badge" by Cream. Yeah, I don't know if they're talking about the whole group or what they're talking about. There you go. All right, folks. I think I'm going to kick this in the head. It looks like it's time to end this. So I'll just wait a little bit longer. We'll get to 80 minutes or so, maybe a little over 80 minutes. What did you think of Say, Say, Say when it came out? I liked it. I think it's a good song, Say, Say, Say. Yeah. It's a double-edged sword. I liked it back then too. Yeah, when it came out, I liked it too. It's a double-edged sword. Being a Beatles tribute, they have to look like them, have to sound like them. The real deal breaker, you have a left-handed. You have to have a left-handed Paul too. Well, that's if they really want to do it really right. I mean, there's some bands that don't wear the clothes that don't look like them. Not Guilty should have been on the White Album. We all know it. Well, I've said this many times. I like the song Not Guilty. I just don't know that they didn't get a polished off take of it. I don't think they had a lot of takes, but thank you very much, Gary. I appreciate your endless support. It means a lot to me. All right, folks, I'm gonna go now. So I can't stand. I don't like that song. The Girl Is Mine too much. Silly. Anyway, that's it. So thank you for watching the show. Much appreciated. And what can I say? Do I have anything planned? I might be doing the movie show. I have a movie discussion show over at my movie channel, Mr. Cinemayo. Check out the Mr. Cinemayo. It's like cinema, but yeah, Mayo, Cinemayo. Get it? I do that every Monday night or most Monday nights. The start time was better. Oh, okay. This start time was better. Okay, well, I usually like to do it a little earlier. The only reason I didn't do it a little earlier was because Beatley Tone had a stream going. All right, everybody. Thank you. Talk to you soon. Be well.